No one's going to care. Whereas that woman who's looking after her children, she's got a legacy. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. And you're telling me my culture is oppressive when I find your culture humiliating. And so that's where my kind of anti-feminism came from, because I was just constantly being told that I'm oppressed when I could not feel more liberated when I don't post like that, and I don't live that lifestyle, and I don't drink, and I don't frivolously like date or anything like that. So I was just tired of being told that I'm oppressed when I feel far more liberated than these women who are genuinely oppressed through the idea of catering to men.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's worrying is, like you say, I see ladies much at a maturer age struggling to find men, and vice versa. And I think the whole family kind of concept of wife, husband, kids, you know, working, the white picket fence, the trips to Disneyland or IMG World in Dubai, it's seen as, they're trying to put this stereotype on women. Oh, you're going to be the slave to the man. He says this. He's dominant alpha. I mean, through the thousands of years we've lived in society, that's been the way. And look how we've like survived. Now, it seems like, okay, it's 2022. This is a new agenda. Let's try it. Yeah. Don't you think it's a bit risky? I mean, I have female friends I know come to the gym and really good ladies, and they're struggling to find men because the men are chasing, like you say, these thirst traps or the trash because it's easy. Yeah. Here's a gift, no strings attached. Here's a Chanel bag. Yeah. Do what I want when I want.
Also, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be completely honest. You know, whether you're taking money or you're accepting gifts, it's like prostitution. Like, let's just say how it is.
And there's nothing.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
It is. Just own it. But what I would say is, I do have to hold the men a bit accountable for this as well. And the reason I say this is, 10, 20 years ago, a woman would know that if she is too loose and she's too out there, men were going to lose interest. But now, if I posted provocative pictures, I'd have far more offers and far more attention. I'd be flown out left, right, and centre. Whereas a girl that actually is well behaved gets nothing. So you can see why young, vulnerable girls are thinking the route to a successful man is through this behaviour.
I will disagree. Being around men, and I'm a Muslim man, and a lot of the men, how they behave, I hate, I despise. Also, it's trashy. It's a two-way thing. Running to clubs, drinking, spending a lot of money on the table just to have women pose. It's cringe. Yeah. But these men, what you see, and unfortunately a lot of the guys will be listening, they see that as a fun. They have their fun. They use these women, abuse them, give the gifts behind their parents' back, for example, rich Arabs or rich certain guys here. But when it comes to marrying, they'll go to their mother, or they'll go for the, which I hate, the virgin, the good girl. Yeah, but which also annoys me. If you're not a man, as a man, a virgin, or you're not a chastised man, as we say in the Quran, you don't deserve to be with a woman. Why should you be running around being dirty and then go, I want that girl in the village, or a beautiful girl from Syria or Jordan, bring her, and that poor girl's going to suffer. She's at home. So it is a two-way thing. But these girls are used, and they should know it's just for fun. But they accept it in a way because I think they want the fast track. No one wants to work McDonald's hard or Nando's or be a PA and work herself up for a small salary. They want that quick, I want to sit on the private jet with that wine glass, that pick, what everyone wants, or I want to be in the Maldives. So they're asking for it in a way. Yes, I feel sorry for those women who are the innocent good girls as well, but I also feel sorry for guys who are looking for a good wife now, because it's very hard to find them.
Very few and far. But there's no motivation to be that good girl now, because now you're going to think I'm that good girl that gets with the guy, but he's still going to be spending money on the hoe that you met on Instagram. So when men are investing in these women, back in the day they would use that girl but never speak to her again, but now they still invest in her. Whether it's bags, whether it's shoes, whether it's flying them out, when a woman sees that woman is getting an investment from you, it lowers the motivation for women to want to be that successful, that traditional girl. And so I think men need to be mindful as well where they are placing their investment, because that's going to determine female motivation.
But Sadia, I'm sorry, I kind of disagree with you, because we're still going back to, it's the men. It's these women that are offering that to the men. You know what I mean?
Because there's a demand for it.
Of course there's demand, but it doesn't mean that you need to do that and screw over the rest of the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Women are today getting really pissed off. Like, you know, these influencers, so-called influencers, are everywhere.
So cool.
You know? Sorry, like, I'm brutally honest, but I've got to be. And that's why the good girl, sure. I mean, why should a young girl right now strive to become, let's say, an engineer and get paid 5,000 dirhams a month, for example, whereas an influencer gets paid whatever 200K for
one post,
whatever, one day or whatever. You know what I mean? So I understand, but again, it's the women. like these are the female influencers. So stop doing that. If all the influencers stop posting all these bikini traps, I think that the men would start having to work harder for it.
But do you not think that if the men were not following these girls and paying these girls, they would be no motivation to post like that?
It's a two-way thing, isn't it? But at the same time, what she's saying is the women, it's like, for example, luckily it's banned here, like drugs. If you keep feeding the crack in the society, in the ghetto, the more addiction's going to come.
Absolutely.
So hold that. Let them go through the rehab, then it's going to go. So you'll keep pushing this agenda
of.
But
you not give the drugs if there was no consumers?
There's always going to be. It's an addiction, though. But you can start.
Yeah,
but you can start an addiction from anything. You literally can start, and it's one of the like natural instincts of a man.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their build up. The woman is more procreation, loving, motherly. It's a natural instinct. You can say all you want about the movement of LGBTQ, but the woman is born with certain instincts.
Absolutely.
A kid falls over, you probably go, "Oh, come here," or you'll have that touch. Even with my daughters, you meet them, you'd have a different touch to my friends. Go, "Hello," it's like a ball. It's just the way we are. Men like to go hunting, protect. She's mine. She's my wife. She's my girlfriend. Don't harm. And the woman's more loving. The university. So, in a way, you're feeling it. But I think, do you not think, Lubna, in a way? I mean, these girls fall into this at a young teenage age because who else do they see as, like, as soon as they get these phones now, this is a new generation, not like we were born. It's different. We never had these. So straight on Instagram, Cardi B, Kim K, whatever.
Just nonsense.
So they think that is normal, that is good. So in a way, they're kind of stuck. It's a vicious cycle now.
I don't blame. I think the thing is, it's really easy to be judgmental when you come from a great family and a great home. But say if I was a 15-year-old girl who's been abused, doesn't have much money, doesn't have anything like that, I'm so vulnerable. And that vulnerability can be easily exploited by male attention and male investment. Now, if we removed male investment, women wouldn't have to go towards that as well. I don't think it's all women's fault or all men's fault. I'm not trying to blame the men, but it's a societal issue. There's a hyper-sexualized society, men including, women including. Everything is so sexualized. Women are learning that's a currency. And when we have opinions, we have to think about it from the lens of a really vulnerable individual. And that vulnerable girl that doesn't have a father figure, doesn't have money, doesn't know where she's going to eat the next day, and she knows that I can either go to university and get nothing, or I can post on Instagram and a guy will probably send me a plane ticket to Dubai.
I agree. There are these cases, I agree, who have been abused, and that's unfortunate. But I'm saying now I'm seeing it in the Middle East. I'm seeing it in regions where they've got fathers, mothers, good families, Muslim, Christian, Coptic, whatever backgrounds, very educated. I know the fathers were. I see these very well educated. They've got drivers. You know, I've been here for 15 years. You've been born and raised here. You'll be noticing these things. My point is, I think women responsibility also to have more women like yourselves. Like I was speaking to Lubna before. You need more of a platform.